One thing I really like to do with my journals is to cover the cover. And when they come from Hobonichi, they, have just these plain covers like this, which are fine. And if you have them in a cover, that's no big deal. But I love the look of having a decorated cover like this instead. I did not do the back this time because I decided that, while I'm using it, it's not that visible, so it's not that big a deal to have. This was the first half of 2023. This is the second half of 2023. Usually I cover these with packing tape or contact paper, or even clear sticker paper works too. And here's some other ones that I covered. This one was I used as a travel journal insert in my little travel journal book, and so I covered it front and back with, and I actually did this before I went on the trip, just with some on-theme stickers and printables and papers and everything, so that it would be well protected while I traveled, because on my trip I just took it like this and not in its cover with the rest of it, just to reduce size, and that worked real well. This was very nice and durable, waterproof. I even had some coffee slosh on it. It's fine, it's wipe offable. So I do like doing that with my books. This is one that was a altered children's book that I used as my journal for 1 month in 2023. And so part of this is the original children's book illustration, and part of it is my own stuff I added in, and it's kind of hard to tell which is which. I may have done some painting on here as well. I can't remember now. I also covered this with clear packing tape. The back cover I left as is. So that is something that I do like to do, and I want to do that with my 2024 journal, so I'm going to take a minute to do that. I have a few different ones to do. I have my A6 size, and I have my A5 size, both waiting to be covered. My Han I will not worry about doing, as it's, it's got a pretty cover already. I will say that I did put the plastic protective cover by Hobonichi for the Han on here. And if I ever do get tired of this cover, then, maybe I'm not going to say I'll never do it, but at this point I'm just going to leave this beautiful cover as is. Now, one thing I did do, this is the last half of 2023, and on this one, I'm going to go ahead and take it off now. On this one, I used my same Mako brand. I used my Mako brand sticker paper and just used part of it. Used part of it to cover over this. It has a little bit different look. It makes it a little more matte. Because this is a matte sticker paper where the packing tape is very glossy. It's fine. I will say I usually prefer matte on things, but I kind of like the glossy. So I don't know. That's just a matter of preference. Either works fine. But then I additionally, while I was using it this year, I used a little Midori A6 cover, and it fits very nicely on the Hobonichi A6 by itself. So if that would be another option, to not even cover your collage or paint or whatever you do on your cover and just use this instead. But since I already have this protective cover on that, I'm going to take this off and probably use it again this year while I'm using the book. So now I'm just ready to get ready for some decorating. So I've just gathered a little pile of handy things that might be options for covering my books. So I have, this was a bit of packing tape from I have occasionally gotten papers and washi tape and things from a place called Cognitive Surplus, and they have very sciencey related stationery things, and this was part of their packing tape, which I thought was really fun, so I saved a chunk of that. I'm not sure what this was from, some little random scrap I had laying around. I think I had it in my Christmas box because of the colors, but it's really not necessarily Christmassy. I have these little dictionary definition words that could be fun. I have some stickers. I have a son-in-law who's a musician, and this is illustrations his young daughters did that they turned into a sticker, which is really fun. Little instruments on there. This is just a random little sticker. I don't know where it's from. It just was in my pile. These are stickers from Miriam Tillison, which are really cool. Her work is very cool. Worth going and looking up. That could be fun on a journal. But I haven't had these very long, so I'm kind of precious with them. We'll see if I can let go. This is by my daughter, Flimsy Fox, and I thought that was a really cool, this is a favorite. I love the colors in it. That one is a little easier for me to use because it's easier for me to get another one. And this is also by her. She has a Patreon, and I am one of her patrons, and you get a sticker each month, among other things, so that's really fun. So I like those. I have some scraps still of Pictionary drawings that I did playing with my granddaughter, and so those are really fun, just little pencil sketches. They could be fun little filler or background things. Since 2024 is the year of the dragon, I have, this is on matte sticker paper, and this is my grandpups, I guess. I have, these also were for my January patrons. I have already used some of them. I actually printed out a second sheet. So I've used some of those already, but those could be fun, and I do want to put the year very prominent on there. This is an old Tisha Moore, I guess from 2013, bit of illustration collage that I've kind of been saving, and it's like, okay, it's time to be using these things. Super cute, love her work. This is, I was printing some labels to label and organize my art supplies, and these were just leftovers from that project. These also were in my January Patreon sheets. I had done some no-tan illustrations, and I was just kind of trying them out in different colors. I also did black and white, but I thought these colors could be fun to use on there, and these are also on matte sticker paper. This is just a copy of a page in my sketchbook where I was kind of swatching out some colors, so that could be fun filler. I have some lovely pages some of my grandkids gave me for my birthday last fall. Illustrated, these are sticker paper, and they made these illustrations for me, and so I think some of those have some good possibilities too. That would be fun to use. So that's kind of what I have to work with, and so now I'm just going to start playing around and seeing what fits. Any of this leftover won't go to waste because I've been setting aside a stash to go in my glue book as well, so some of it will go back. I fished it out of that pile. So I will set this aside and we'll get to work on the journal covers. I think I'll start with the little one that I have in this Hobonichi cover with my own artwork insert in the clear cover, the cover on cover, which is available on Etsy. But I'm going to take this out and cover. I think I'm not going to worry about the back again. So I really don't need a whole lot here. Like, I can't fit anything very big on here. So I think I'm going to want the 2024. I'm not just wild about this cover so far at this point, but I often find that I will think that early on any of my art projects, and that if I just keep pushing forward, usually things resolve themselves and I end up liking it better. So I'm just going to keep continuing and adding to and adjusting until it becomes something I am happy with. Since this is the AVAC, I want to have something that indicates which half of the year it is. So by the end of the year, when I have two 2024 books, I know which is which. So I've taken this little bit of sticker and written January to June on there. I often, around June, will be in the mood to do something different. I know that about myself. That's how I've been in the past. But it actually works about right to only do 5 months in one of these. It's about as chunky as I want it to be that way. So it actually all works out well to take a little month break from each of the books in this. So I usually, in the past, have taken off June, or not taken off, but done it in a different book. And then July did not start in the next one, in the second AVAC, until August. So that has worked actually pretty well and gives about a right amount of chunkiness to these books. I'm jumping in with a white gel pen here just to get some things to stand out a little bit more. Since I used this dragon was on transparent sticker paper, so a little too much of the background showed through, so I went with colored pencils that were kind of opaque. The colored pencils work really nicely on the Mako brand matte clear label paper. And that's one thing I really like about it, is that you can layer quite well with colored pencil or gel pens or markers like I'm doing here with the black. And just by the time I up the contrast of things a little bit with that addition, I'm liking it much better now. Giving it a little evaluation. I feel like it still needs something in those kind of blank areas, so I think I'm going to pull out the dragon sheet again, because I know there was some more of those little stars on there, and I think that filling it in a little bit with some more stars will be just what it needs. So now that this one's done, I'm going to stick it in that little Midori A6 cover, which just fits just perfectly. And I decide that I kind of want to use the Year of the Dragon, maybe on the front page, to kind of signify that. And then I also will want to put one of those dragons holding the month of January calendar. I'm going to put on the first page of January. I really like that Hobonichi includes a just page for the month before it jumps into the first day of the month. This gives a good place to write down some goals, or kind of a summary of the month, or however you want to use it, and I kind of bounce around how I use it, but I do like the idea of it, and I think it's nice to have that option there. So getting it back in its cover, and I'm putting some of those stickers that I didn't use kind of in the front cover, just where I can keep track of them and enjoy them. And now I'm going to jump into my A5 Day Free, which I use as a work planner. So I've pulled out an old cover insert from 2022, and I want to reuse those. I think that's a kind of a fun way to do it. I probably wouldn't use it, like I didn't use it for 2023 because I might find that a little bit confusing, but now that there's been a whole year pass in between, I think I would like to make use of that artwork. And then I'm using that as a base, and then I will decorate on top of that. So I'm pulling out the 2024 and putting it on one of those labels that I was talking about, and I can use that on there somewhere. I thought it kind of tied in with the style of the cover. And then this is just a piece of hand-painted, like just regular printer or copy paper, and I'm cutting out 4 those kind of wonky squares because I just want to say work on here. I want it to be real evident that this is my work planner. I have so many other, journals and everything that I just want it to be obvious. This is my 2024 work planner. I am using a Posca paint pen here to just make the those a little bolder, because again, those were on transparent sticker paper. So I could have just started out writing the date with the Posca paint pen, but sometimes it helps to just kind of plan what you're doing this way. So it's all fine. It's kind of an evolving, not planned out, just kind of intuitively adding things on here. So I did pull out some of those Tisha Moore printables. I love them, and I think I've saved them long enough. It's time to use them. And so I'm cutting out some elements from that to add some more decoration to the page. Now it's just a matter of getting everything arranged and stuck down. just using some Posca paint pens and the white gel pen to kind of make things stand out a little bit more. And now I'm going to choose a little bit more embellishments to add. I like these covers to just be busy, like a lot going on. Not much space for your eyes to rest, just kind of a explosion of inspiring creativity, I guess. And I decided to kind of repeat that circle with these little circle shaped. I wanted some more of that red color to carry in through the cover. So I'm adding some little circles that I cut out. Now they're more like ovals, I guess, but to cut out and glue onto the cover. I think it's getting pretty close. I'm feeling pretty happy with how it's looking so far. So I think it's time to pull out the tape, and I just use the clear packing tape to cover this. It's inexpensive and readily available. But just before I start putting the packing tape on, I just see a few more little improvements I can make. So I'm pulling out that Posca paint pen again and just doing a little bit more embellishing on the cover, making things stand out a little bit more, and just be what is more visually appealing to me. It's kind of hard to do anything after you put the packing tape on, so I just want to make sure I've done any of my doodling that I'm going to do before I put the packing tape on. So I also decide that I want that 2024 to stand out a little bit more, so I go ahead and add some patterns in red on top of that kind of coral color that I already put on there. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about where things stand now, so I think I'm actually ready to go ahead and get the cover covered. It only takes a few strips of the packing tape to cover the front cover. The first one I always start at the edge and I make it longer and than it needs to be and overlap the front so that I can fold the edges into the inside so that that edge where the papers are sealed or glued on are well sealed. It's pretty much like wrapping a package. I cut a little corner out, which you can see because I was off camera, but of each corner I cut a little snip out of the tape so that it folds over nicely at the corners and get it all smoothed down. And then it's just a matter of adding 2 more strips of tape on there. I do overlap the edges just a little bit
you know, if I'm out and about, occasionally something gets spilled or sloshed or whatever, and I just feel like it's a little bit more waterproof to not have, to just make sure there's no gap between the pieces of tape. And it doesn't bother me that amount of overlap. The tape is thin enough, it's not a big deal for it to be overlapped. And that makes it fit just right also. So I only did it to the where the binding is. If I do the entire cover, I have taped it, you know, clear around the spine, but I didn't feel a need for that since I only did the front portion and not the spine. I do want to additionally, because I do store these on my bookshelf and not in the cover after I'm done with them or later on when I move into another book. So I am labeling it that this is a 2024 work planner, and this will be probably number one of the year. There will likely be more planners to come, so I went ahead and put a number one there while I was at it. So there that is. I've already started using it, and you can see that I've got several tabs on the side there. I've started planning things in it already. I've also used it the December monthly for my Inkvent calendar already. So I think I'll go ahead and pull out those sheets that I got from my grandkids, and I have this one that says keep up the good work, and that seems like the perfect thing to put inside the cover of a work planner, and just a little message to encourage and make me smile every time I open my work planner. So I'm going to cut that out and stick that in the front page. Once that's stuck down, I use a Posca paint pen again to add a little border around it so that it really stands out. I may go ahead and collage more stuff in here as time goes on. I'm going to try to be better about all those little scraps and bits that I saved, just going ahead and using them at the moment. But we'll see how I do, but I'm happy with how that turned out. So now I'm just have both of these covers, and when I open up the cover to see them, it just makes me happy to have them done, and it just makes them bright and cheery and fun to use. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.